if you have the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro, guys, I'm going to show you guys how to edit your dlog-m. Let's get straight into the video. Alright guys, so here we are in DaVinci and I want to show you guys how I go about editing this. And this was edited on captured on the 10-bit dlog-m. Alright, and what I'm going to show you first is I want to show you my my settings. So here, if you go into my color management, I have DaVinci Y Gamut, I have DaVinci Y Gamut / intermediate, and also my output color space is Rec 709-A, okay? Because I'm using a Mac. All right, so, and the first thing I want to do, guys, you can see right here, this is our flat image right here, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now is going to go to the color space. All right, so we're here now in the color section here, and we're inside. I want to go to our primaries. And our primary colorways right here. And the first thing I want to do, guys, is I want to create some nodes. Right now we have just one right here. I want to create about 4 more. So I'm going to go option and I'm going to press S. And that's our 4, okay? So the first thing we need to do, guys, the first thing we need to establish is we need to get the LUT into DaVinci. And how to do that, guys, is if you already have the LUT on your computer, you right click and you go to LUT and then you go to DJI and then it's right here. If you need to download it, guys, links would be in the description below where you can download the actual LUT itself, okay? So what I'm going to do here, since I have the LUT right here, I'm going to just click on that and automatically can see how the image has actually changed right here. The video rather has actually changed. So what we need to do now is we're going to go into our first section here, and because I shot this at night, guys, is what I want to do is I want to make sure to reduce our noise. All right, so the first thing I need to do now is, like I mentioned before, and I'm going to just create this, and we have our LUT. So now that we have our nodes labeled, guys, so first thing I want to do is I want to do our noise reduction, right? So what we're going to do here now is we're going to come over here to our motion effect. And then now I'm going to put this at 1. And I'm also going to change this to 5. I'm going to unlink my special threshold right here. I'm going to put this at 7. So when you do actual noise reduction, guys, it actually puts a lot of load on your system. So I'm using the simplest method because if I want, I could actually change this to better. But when I do, that's going to put more pressure on the system. And for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to use that at faster and medium. All right. So next, what I'm going to do now is going to go back to my primaries, and over here, if you want to see what the noise actually did here, guys, if you look inside this section here, if I click on the noise, I'm going to go press my Command and D. And you're going to see it's a really small adjustment that was actually made. All right, so here now, I'm just going to go back. And now I'm going to deal with the highlights. Because the reason why I'm going to do that, guys, is because I'm going to increase our highlights a little bit. I'm going to back it down first before I actually increase it. And the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to come here. Then I'm going to go over here to this section here. The qualifier, and then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on this, the loom, and here I'm just going to go to about 60, and here I want to go to about 20 for the soft. All right, so once that is done now, guys, what we need to do, if you want to see where the mask is actually affecting, if you click on this here, you're going to see where it's actually affecting, and let's just take that off. And all I'm going to do here, I'm just going to come to my highlight, I'm just going to bring that down right about there. And throughout the video, we're probably going to be just adjusting it as we go on. All right. So first now, next we're going to go over here. And now this is where now we're going to use our curves. All right. So let's go inside of our curve section here. And with the curve as is, I'm going to click on these 3 little dots right here, and you're going to have editable spline. So what that does is it helps you once you click, you have a more, what's the word now? You have a better control of how it actually is. If you took this off, let's just undo that, and let's just go to, let's just take that off. You will see that there's no spline there, and if you do that, it's not as smooth as before. All right, so let's just undo that, and let's just click on this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my shadows like about that. There, I'm going to decrease my whites a little bit. So I'm just going to bring that down somewhat. Go back to my shadows over here. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to introduce, because what this is doing also is I'm introducing some contrast into the shot right here. I'm just going to increase that so I can see a little bit more details in the rocks. And then I'm going to come over here. All I'm going to do now, you can see how well this is coming together. And I was going to do right about there. And this is why we did the highlights before. We took care of that, because had I not done that, if I take it off, you can see how my highlights are actually blown out, and we don't want that, okay? So we're trying to preserve it before it actually gets blown out. And what we're going to do now is come back to here, and we're just slightly tweaking a little bit. And I think that is looking pretty good. So now what we need to do now, because the image is a little bit flat now, guys. So what we need to do, we're going to come over here to our saturation, all right? So in our saturation now, we're going to go to the HDR section. And on the global, right here in the saturation, I'm just going to bring it up to a point where I'm happy. And I think that's looking pretty good. Because I think why I'm using this method, guys, a little bit more, it's not so aggressive when you increase your saturation versus, let me just undo this, versus if I come over here to the color spline and if I do saturation here, you can see how aggressive that is, and I really don't want that, okay? So I'm just going to reset that. I'm going to go back to my HDR over here, and I'm just going to increase it. Because the thing about when you're editing is you want to make sure it's not too much and it's not acting too fast or too aggressive, all right? So once we do that now is if we can take a check and see what that looks like. That's the before, and this is the after before, and this is the after. And the next one what I want to do now, guys, is I want to add some sharpening to this thing right here now. So what we're going to do, click on this node right here, and then we're going to come over here to our sharpening, and then all we're going to do now, we're going to increase our radius, or rather reduce our radius. I'm going to bring it to about, I want to say about 48, 47. And if we do a check and see, you can see how well the details are coming back into our actual video here. And I think that is looking really good, guys. We can come back to our curves here and just add a little bit more right about there. Because this was really dark, and that I think is looking pretty good. So if we go back to our edit section now and just look at the video, you can see how well it actually looks. Let's do that again. I'm going to click on this, it repeats, and you can see how well that actually looking good. It's still kind of rendering, that's why you see that little bit choppy. That's why I said the noise reduction actually put a little bit more pressure on your system when you do that. But right now it's moving really nice, guys. And I think that's looking really good, guys. So if we go back to our color wheel and we can look at our before and our after, before, after. And I think we have done a really good job, guys. In the comment section, guys, let me know what you guys think of this. If you guys have any questions at all, I can definitely help you down there. So just shoot me a message and I'll get back to you as quickly as I possibly can, guys. Also, there are another video over here that you probably can check out that I did with the Osmo Pocket 3 that I think you might be interested into, guys. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, smash that like button, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Oh,